Hello, YouTubers. How's it going this morning? Um, I remember. A friend of mine put up a post about, does anybody still believe in love and magic? Everybody's saying, I believe in magic. I believe in magic. No, there's still magic. Nobody really believes in love anymore, which is sad. And I'm sure that they do. I believe in love. I said yes. Um, Obviously, right? I believe in Christian love, right? But I also believe in the love between a husband and a man, like a spiritual love. And love for God, which kind of goes under Christian love, but not Christian love as your fellow man, and then there's Christian love for God. Way different. But yeah, so my train of thought was that it's very sad that everybody sees things so backwards and broken in our society. And this is another thing that everyone's backwards and broken on. Definitely there's magic. I've talked about it in my videos briefly. I'm not going to tell you how to do it, but it's there. You could learn if you got eyes to see. There's two sides of it. There's like an obsessive side where the magic gets used by Satan in order to fool you into becoming something you're not. Or some people got enough love in them that they can stay away from that temptation. Not most, though. You got to be a Christian, right? And then if you're a Christian, a lot of that loses power. First off, right away, even witches that I've watched interviews of and stuff, if you're actually full of faith, nothing they can do. They can't, none of their spells can work. It's all shit. Now, Jesus was the greatest wizard ever, right? He was a necromancer and a healer, and he could run out demons, right? If that ain't witchcraft, what we consider to be witchcraft, right? He grabbed the mud and spit in it and made a little thing, put it on Buddy's eyes, like... I don't want to tell you anything about spells that you shouldn't know. But there's spells that are done like that. How about that? Dirt elementals are very important, right? And then he'd cast out demons and stop storms with his words. That's spell casting, right? As we understand it. And and then necromancy, raising people from the dead, he did with his hands and his words, and probably other things. He wouldn't let people in the room. Sometimes, he only let a very few in the room, and they would all be trustworthy people, and all they said was that he used his hands and his words. But Jesus was all frequency, especially after the resurrection. But I mean, even before, he was fully enlightened, so he could really tell you, show you how all that stuff works. Now, you need to have God in there as well, or witchcraft will corrupt you. So will love. And that's why so many people don't believe in love anymore. Because they don't have God. So you'll never be able to love somebody. Not right. Right? There's always going to be some jealousy, anger, guilt, remorse, shit. There's all that stuff. And you might get like some resemblance of love without it, or one half of the relationship is like right in love and the other half of the relationship is spoiled by that love. Returns maybe respect when it's convenient for them, and then go out and say things like, oh, well, blowjob's not cheating. Right? Where yeah. So that everybody thinks that love isn't real or whatever anymore, or that you can't attain it. And that's 2 generations ago that I'm describing. This generation, I wouldn't even know. I wouldn't even know where to start on all the problems that they would have. But I'm assuming it's going to be a dominated woman and a beaten down pet of a man. More or less. That's what I've seen, I guess. And the shame that before it was the blowjob's not cheating 2 generations ago. But now it's going to be the little girls making those excuses. They'll say something. Well, they'll say, oh, it's our turn. Guys have been sluts forever. Yeah, and they just fucking fooled you, didn't they? I can sleep with you and your dad, or whatever. That's common when I see. No, you couldn't. My dad's a fucking old man. And my son's a little boy. My dad's a stroke victim, so he's like a child. Anyway. It's a fundamental godless problem. That's why. fundamentally it's a causeless problem. That's why people don't think there's love anymore. But there's love. Love is out there. It's waiting for you. So, oh my, excuse me. So go and grab it, I guess. Look for it. Don't lose hope in it. It's hard not to. I think that there's probably there isn't like an Eve and an Adam, and if there is, the odds of you finding your rib are fucking slim. But if anybody could do it, it would be God. That's the only place you could have faith in it. It's the only reason that you could think that it could possibly happen. 7 billion people, and you're looking for one particular one. But there's probably a bunch of people that you would see eye to eye with, at the very least, and be compatible with and attracted to. That's not a crazy thing to think. And love is work. It doesn't just, it comes easy, right? But it can go just as easy if you don't put the work into it. And that's another thing that this generation doesn't want to do. Like the 20-year-olds and stuff like that, they don't want to put a bunch of work into something like that. Obviously, there's some, right? I do know a couple. But the more of media mainstream shit they're into, the less likely they are to do that. And especially once that first love wears out or something happens, I don't know. They'll keep looking, but they're not going to look hard. They're not going to be easily open to it. Anyway, I don't think I am either. So, there you go. Takes a lot to give somebody your heart or whatever and trust them with it. So that's why you gotta make sure that you see the fundamentals the same. Don't be a hardcore CNN liberal and go marry somebody who watched Tucker Carlson. That's gonna be a major factor in your fights and how well you can get along. If you're a Wiccan, don't go marry a Catholic, right? You're gonna have to marry another Wiccan, or at least somebody who's like spiritual. And if you're a Christian, figure out how much you love God, how much time you put into God, and you want to find somebody who puts at least that much time into God and that much love. just as a minimum, right? And then if you can find somebody who's a little stronger than you, that's going to pull you more, right? Or if someone's a little tiny bit weaker, you're going to pull them more. So it's okay, but start at that first stone, right? That like if your priorities go God, wife, children, money, don't go marry somebody who goes money, children, spouse, family, or whatever, because that's way different. That's huge different, right? And you're not going to get along. You'll get along for a while. You'll have lust period, of course, but in the long run, that relationship's not going to be a healthy one. It's going to be hurtful, and it's going to drive you from God or whatever. Big time, usually. Look at Samson, right? You're no Samson. So don't be with idolatrous women or men, for that matter. I don't know, just something to think about, I guess. I thought it was an interesting topic. Obviously, I just rambled on about it for 15 minutes. So with that, I guess I'm gonna go to work. It's the 16th of April, Passover. The moon is tonight. The full moon, sorry, the full. We were supposed to have Passover on the 9th this year. That would have been the half, or the quarter, whatever. I'm still not quite getting it all. But big thing is I'm going to make my Passover lamb. I've been not having leaven and trying to prepare. I didn't get to prepare the lamb as much as I would have liked. I might go do that right now. And then next year I'll get it more right. Next year I might even look for a farm, go and buy a whole lamb, and go visit it every day for 4 days, and then have it killed, butchered, and I'll just take it to Bob, my butcher, and he'll sell the rest of it to the Greeks, and I'll take my roast or whatever. So, blessed souls, believe in love. Believe in magic. It is out there. It's everywhere. Especially godly love and Christian love. That's not so hard to find. If you're an open soul and you love God, and God loves you, she does if you love him, just start going to churches. The love is there. Brotherly love, is spiritual love. It's still alive. It's all over. And yeah, and it'll just manifest itself to you. So go and manifest yourself to it, and have a loving weekend.